business activity or get your money or threaten you.
Yeah, I hope you stub your toe in the corner of the bed every day for the rest of your life.
I don't think they did him like that. But as far as like, we'll use our medical system as an example, or even the FDA ratings on stuff or what's allowed to be sold. You know, I'm totally for the labels, if that makes sense. Like, but I think there comes another aspect where I think like the pharmaceutical companies or say places like McDonald's, or I don't know how this works exactly, to where they'll lobby for something not to exist. That's good. Like, say for instance, is toothpaste. And that happens, I think, a lot in our country.
Probably a lot more than it should.
Like other countries, I get it that and I don't wish that we would be like them. I just wish we managed it better. Like, because we have freedom to sell what we want. You know, you like, did you see the Ron Swanson video? He's like, I love this country because you can eat a hamburger and blow up to be as big as you want, which I have done. But
as am I. Hefty.
But at the same time, I would like it for there to be a way for people to be more educated about the bad choices that are popular. You know what I mean? A lot more than, say, just buying your regular Colgate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this will work or not. That's just an example of that. But you see that in all different places. Like, maybe this might be on the fringe, that herbal medicine isn't taught as much. We're often given pills, you know, rather than, say, like the dietary solution. And I'll say doctors, yeah, they'll tell you to clean up your diet, but most people don't have like a great dietary, education for themselves. Keto, it's gotten more popular, and I guess that's a good thing.
No, I done keto for a month last year. Yes. I lost about 15 pounds in 2 weeks, and after that, I didn't really see any more loss. But I know with the keto, you're supposed to stop, you know, for a little time period or so, maybe like a week, and then get back on it. That way you can reset and lose more weight.
Yeah.
From what I was researching, but
and there's
and just because it's a weight loss diet does not mean it's healthy by any means.
Do you think it's unhealthy?
I don't know if it'd be definitely not the best overall. If you're looking for, you know, to be the perfect, you know, if you want to lose weight, fine. But, you know, if you're trying to be for like total health, perfect, that is definitely not the way to go. Have nothing but meat and essentially just filler vegetables, and I think you can have broccoli.
Yeah.
Some green.
Like low carb vegetables. I mean, your body does run off carbs, but I know at the same time, in our country at least, we put carbs in everything. Everything is carb filled.
And that's what I learned on the diet. Like, I can't have this. It's got so much carbs in it, or I can only have one. You know, I can't.
Have you heard about people like intermittent fasting?
I've heard about that. Yeah, I've actually want to do the 16 and 8.
What do you mean?
All right, 16 hours you can't eat or you don't eat, and then you have an 8-hour window that you can eat.
Oh, I did that for a couple of days, and it was working, and I got a stick, and that's the only thing about it is you got to get that discipline. But it's like, so what I did at the time, I'd go to bed at, say, I quit eating at 9 p.m., right? And then I would start eating again, say, when I woke up the next day around 1. And that actually seemed to work. Because, I mean, the problem is you don't want to start overstuffing yourself after that. From what I understood about, like, the intermittent fasting, is people have a tendency to start eating extra during those hours to, you know, because they're not used to, say, that set food amount between those times, because some of us graze all day like cattle, which was taught to us when we were younger. Were you taught that, to where you should eat small meals throughout the day?
6 small meals a day?
Yeah, that's what we were all taught. And apparently, as far as losing weight, like, so maintaining weight, I think that's really good. Like, say you've got yourself to where you want to be, 6 small meals a day, as long as you're not overgorging yourself, that probably works really good. But when you're trying to cut, the intermittent fasting, I knew one girl, I actually worked with her, and she wasn't worst off ever. You know, she's about like you, and but she did the intermittent fasting, and dude, I'm telling you, she cut 100 pounds. She did it for like a year. Like that way too, the way we were talking about.
And then I've seen some about like some low calorie.
Yeah, and I mean, and I try to tell a friend this, and I don't know why they're probably drinking that day too much or something. A friend of mine, and Kevin was actually with me that day, but he tried to look at Kevin in the face, and I know Kevin. Like, I've seen this guy when he decided to work out like an athlete, and when he decided to slack off, he tried to tell him, that if you diet and exercise, it's not going to work. That's just not true. Because if you decrease your calorie intake and you increase your body's need for calories, you're going to lose weight. It's literally like subtract and minus, I couldn't believe he told me that one day. I think some people, maybe I'm wrong, they develop into like hopelessness, and I understand, like, I've met some people with like a gastric bypass or something like that, and no judgment, but if you think it's not gonna work and you don't try it, you'll never really know. You know what I mean? He said he tried it though.
And everybody's bodies and stuff's different. So what works for me may not work for you, and what for you may not work for Becca and whoever. It's everything's different when you're trying to diet or eat better or lose weight or gain muscle. It's all. You just kind of do your research and see what will work for you.
And some of those things, I'm not saying that you have to find out what your body needs to get to where you feel healthy. And I think obviously me and you are like, we still have a ways to go in that kind of journey, or whatever you want to call it. But I come to find out, your body will have different needs based on who you are, but it also has different needs based on who your grandparents were. What did I read online? I read online that if you guys can fact check me on this at some point. I'm not sure I remember correctly, but if your grandparents smoked, the odds of your metabolism being slower than, say, people whose grandparents didn't smoke, that I gotta stop saying but but if, like I said, if your grandparents didn't smoke, the odds your metabolism would be higher was apparently enough to make a difference. I'll put it that way. In your daily life as far as eating and stuff.
Oh, this topic has got me so hungry.
Doesn't it, though? We started talking about food. Speaking of which, we have the Yeti cooler. Sorry, I actually won this at work, everybody. But Chris has told me some things about Yeti that now it's going to have to be an Eddie. We're going to have to take the Y off and just make it an Eddie. Why? I don't know. Chris, you can explain why. But this cooler is actually really cool, Chris.